We are not ignoring the Wells Fargo story. Wells Fargo Chairman and CEO John Stumpf handing over his resignation, not from the CEO seat, but from the Federal Advisory Council. That's a group of 12 bank executives who advise the Federal Reserve Board. So he's stepping down from that, keeping his job at Wells Fargo for now. And, of course, the banking giant and he have run into a huge wall, taking a black eye in the wake of the recent scandal where 2 million phony customer accounts were created by bank employees so that they could hit their goals, their sales goals. The scandal has resulted in the firing of 5,300 employees, Wells Fargo paying a $185 million fine. But so far, while the bank paid that penalty, many are saying pay a heavier penalty. John Stumpf could walk away with a $200 million golden parachute if he's forced to leave Wells Fargo. Joining me now is one of the original whistleblowers who tried to bring this scandal to light, former Wells Fargo personal banker Khalid Taha. He's currently also a member of the Committee for Better Banks. Khalid, thank you so much for joining us. You're coming up pretty strongly here. You say that John Stumpf should be pushed with criminal charges. He said he didn't know anything about what was going on at the bank branches, but that once he was apprised of it, he tackled the story. What do you say to that?
Well, let's just start with saying what kind of a boss that doesn't know what's going on in his company. It is really hard to believe what is coming out of his mouth, that he said he doesn't know what's going on. He did not force these fraudulent accounts or fraudulent activities. When you have 5,300 people in the front line doing that, this is exactly the number of a small village small villages around our country.
Mm-hmm.
It is not a small number at all. These are where people were on the front line, where they have no choice but losing their jobs or getting their paycheck at the end of a month, and the company just put them with that risk, without proper training, without realistic goals that they could meet. It is a systematic error. It is not just individual mistakes.
Well, let me ask you, I want to jump in here because
it comes from all the way from the top to the bottom.
A lot of people agree with you on that. You worked at a San Diego branch of Wells Fargo. What were you told to do? What did you see? What did you experience?
We were experiencing, you know, on everyday basis that you have to meet a certain amount of goals. On the average, we have 15 solutions a day. A solution, it's a sales product. It's either a checking or saving accounts or a credit card, etc., etc. So you have to meet these goals, whatever the situation are. If it's a holiday, if it's just a regular day, if it's a Monday, if it's the end of the month, you have to meet these goals. There's no excuse. If you do not meet these goals, you're completely out. You might get one written warning just as a courtesy from the company, but the majority of these 5,300 people, they got fired because they did not meet their goals. They did not fired because they were opening a funny account. That's the reality at Wells Fargo. We as bankers, we were spoken about it long time ago. I personally delivered 2 petitions to Wells Fargo headquarters in Minneapolis and in Los Angeles in 2015. These petitions were signed by 13,000 people at least, saying telling Wells Fargo, hey, you have to change your system. You have to lower the pressure on your employees. You have to lower the sales goals. We were completely ignored by Wells Fargo. I mean, I'm pretty sure one of these petitions reached...
Exactly. I mean, so you're saying that how could this not have crossed the desk of John Stumpf? And he actually trumpeted this whole practice of, quote, solutions and cross-selling, saying we want people to do more and more and more. Let me just finish by asking you this. You think that he should be in jail? You've said that.
Absolutely, he should be jailed. He should be criminally investigated because this problem will go on forever. We're gonna see tomorrow other banks doing the same, and they could just get away with a small fine, you know, like the one we have. $190 million for Wells Fargo. It's $190 bucks for me and you, Liz.
Let me interrupt quickly before we go. Carrie Tolstedt, who oversaw branches like yours, left in July and got about a $125 million payout.
I'm pretty sure if I heard the question, sorry.
Carrie Tolstedt, who oversaw the branches where you worked, got a $125 million payout when she left. You think she knew too?
Of course she knew. She's directly responsible, you know, on this area. She was one of the people who were pushing these sales goals, and they were just looking for a profit with no consequencing, without a proper training, without a proper. It's just unrealistic when you put people on the front line and you tell them to bring me that much of money. I don't care what you do, and that was pretty expected to happen.
Okay, Khalid, thank you. We'll see what happens here.
My pleasure.
I'll be interested to see if anybody calls you to testify. Khalid Taha, former Wells Fargo personal banker and one of the original whistleblowers on the story of the fake bank accounts.